All right, YouTube. Um, Jazz people, good afternoon, good day to you. I hope the music is treating you kindly. This is the first part of what I'm going to call the game plan, right? This game plan is about There Will Never Be Another You. That is the first tune that we're going to tackle on the channel. And I think what I see all the time is people go over this whole tune and break it down. We're not going to do that. I think what we try to do here, what we're trying to do is sectionalize this tune, right? Break it down into small bites so that we can tackle it. So we're only going to talk about the first three measures of this tune, right? The first two measures is a major. So for my concert people, that is E flat major. For my alto E flat people, that is C major, right? And for my B flat tenor saxophone people, that's the key of F, right? So we're talking about 2 bars of the key of F, right? Then we're going to target. See, this is the thing. As an improviser, you have to know where you are, and then you have to target the next sound group, we're going to call it, or the next group of chords, or the next grouping that we're going to try to play over. So the next grouping, we're just going to focus on the first chord in that grouping, right? And for the B flat instruments, for the B flat instruments, that is the key of E minor, right? For the concert, E minor 7 flat 5, right? Chord. And then for the concert people, that is the key of D minor 7 flat 5, right? And for my E flat alto saxophone people, that is the key of B minor 7 flat 5. So let's in my next video, I'm just trying to give you, this is the game plan. So we're targeting, I'm going to speak just in B flat here from here on out here. For you got to do the transposition. What we're going to do is we're going to play two measures of the major key, which is F major and then we're going to target the E minor 7 flat 5 chord. So what we're going to do is we need to find vocabulary either in books, on videos, tapes, YouTube, Instagram, from transcriptions, from records, any place, anything. This is the key. You must love the things that you're going to play, right, in F major. It could be simple as 1, 2, 3, 5 of the scale. The default is the major scale that is associated with the key that you're in, right? That's the default. You want to make melodies out of that. But at the same time, you want to have some solid vocabulary options for these two measures. Now, here's the key now. Your vocabulary must start on 4 notes. The root note, which is in B flat, is F. The next note is A. The next note is C. And then the next note is E. So that is the E, F major 7th chord tones, right? Those are the notes that make up F major. So you want to a line or a few lines, 2 to 3 lines that start on F, 2 lines that start on A, 2 lines that start on C, 2 lines that start on E. And this should have some rhythmic variety as far as, and where they lay on the staff. You should have some ascending lines. You should have some descending lines. You should have some lines with triplets. You should have some lines but the caveat to this is you must have at least one line one of these. So that's 8. If we do those 4, F, A, C, and E, 1, 3, 5, and 7, that's 8 lines that you must have, right? You must have those lines that start on those chord tones of the major key, okay? Then we're targeting the minor 7 flat 5 key. So we're going to play. Now, another thing too, before I forget, most jazz tunes, a lot of it have vocabulary that's longer than 2 lines. So you might want to construct some lines that are 4 measures or 8 measures and then cut them in half, right? So this, like, take a tune like Little Sunflower, where the major sections are longer. You can take and use the longer line, cut that in half, and use that in this tune, right? So you want to have 1 or 2 long major lines, just 1 or 2, whatever chord tone you want to choose them on. 1 or 2 of those long lines that you cut up, and then some F major. Where you can find in transcriptions, for me, I took this same tune and I saw Dexter Gordon was playing it, and Dexter Gordon has a line that he took from John Coltrane, and I really liked the line, and I used that line to start. And I'm going to use that and show you in the next video. But you have to go and get some vocabulary, things to say in F major. But this is the key. We're starting. We're only going to start lines on the chord tones, right? The notes that make up the major chord, right? In F major, that's F, A, C, and E. 2 lines that start on F, 2 lines that start on A, 2 lines that start on C, 2 lines that start on E. Now, after we get those lines, then we're going to target just the notes in the chord that's in the next group, right? So we know where we are. We're in a major key, and we're targeting the minor 7 flat 5 that's coming up. All right? Game plan. This is the game plan. Major vocabulary starting on chord tones, then targeting the upcoming minor 7 flat 5.